Have you ever stopped to ask what this actually means? Once you understand this one prefix, dozens of English words suddenly become clearer. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Reka from the LexRune Learning YouTube channel. By the end of the video, you will be better able to recognize, understand, and confidently use highly productive English prefixes, enabling you to expand your advanced vocabulary and decode unfamiliar words with ease. What are prefixes? Prefixes are short units added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. For example, the word prefix itself has a prefix, pre, meaning before, and fix, meaning attach. Another example is unhappy. Un means not, so unhappy means not happy. What do prefixes do? Prefixes modify the meaning of the word by creating opposites, responsible, irresponsible, Ir here means not, marking size, organism, microorganism, micro means tiny, marking quantity, byte, gigabyte, giga means billion, and many more. Why is it useful to know prefixes? The process of forming words by adding prefixes is called affixation, and it is extremely productive in English. Knowing the form and meaning of the most common prefixes is a powerful tool for quickly unlocking the meaning of many unfamiliar words in a relatively effortless way. Let's start with co. This prefix comes from the Latin and means with or together. It appears when people, objects, or ideas act in partnership or share connection. For example, cooperate, to work together toward a common goal. Coexist, to live or exist together peacefully. Co-author, to write something together with another person. Now consider auto. This Greek prefix means self and shows when an action is done by oneself or something works independently. For example, autograph, a signature you write yourself. Autopilot, a system that controls itself. Automatic, working by itself without human intervention. Let's move to two prefixes that indicate something negative or faulty. This and more. This comes from the Greek and means bad or difficult. More comes from the Latin and also means bad or wrong. Dysfunction, something not working properly. Dyslexia, difficulty with reading. Dystopia, an imagined world where everything goes wrong. Malfunction, failure to work properly. Malnourished, badly nourished, not having enough to eat. Malpractice, wrongful professional conduct. Next, we have prefixes that show negation, im and non. Im comes from the Latin and means not. Non also comes from the Latin and also means not, or the absence of something. Impossible, not possible. Imperfect, not perfect, flawed. Immature, not mature, childish. Non-fiction, writing based on facts, not imagination. Nonsense, words or ideas that make no sense. Non-profit, an organization not intended to make a profit. Hyper comes from the Greek and means over or excessive. It describes something that is above normal or extremely intense. Hyperactive, extremely active. Hypertension, high blood pressure. Hypersensitive, overly sensitive. Finally, pre is a Latin prefix meaning before. It shows that something happens earlier or in advance. Preview, to see something before it is released. Predict, to say what will happen before it occurs. Prehistoric, existing before recorded history. Now, let's take a moment to recap the prefixes we've covered so far. Co means with or together, as in cooperate. Auto, self, like autograph. This and more signal something negative or faulty, dysfunction, malnourished. Im and non show negation, impossible, non-fiction. Hyper means over or excessive, hyperactive. Pre means before, like prehistoric. Notice how these prefixes give you hints about words' meaning. Once you recognize them, you can often guess the meaning of unfamiliar words with much less effort. Time to put your prefix knowledge into action. I'll read each sentence aloud, and your job is to choose the correct word by adding the right prefix. Remember, the prefix gives you a big clue about the meaning. The first sentence is done for us. John and James decided to co-author the book, pooling their expertise to create a comprehensive guide. Here, the word is co-author, so they worked together on this book. Now it's your turn. Complete the remaining sentences on your own. Don't worry if you are unsure. This is all about practicing and applying what you've just learned. In her biography, she candidly described the struggles and triumphs of her early career. The correct word is autobiography. Auto means self, so she wrote it herself. The therapist explained that family function can affect a child's emotional development. This dysfunction, bad or not working properly, so the family function wasn't healthy. After drinking 2 cups of coffee, I was feeling active and couldn't sit still. That's hyperactive. Hyper means over or excessive, so very active. The child grew patient waiting in the long queue at the airport. It's impatient. Im means not, so the child was not patient. The rescue team found several nourished animals in the abandoned shelter. Malnourished. Mal means bad or wrong, so the animals were poorly nourished, poorly fed, unfortunately. The novel is set in the war era, capturing the elegance and anxiety of the time. Pre-war. Pre means before, so the era, the period before the war. Mark's verbal cues suggested he was uncomfortable with the topic. Non-verbal. Non means not, so the cues were not spoken words. It was the body language. That's it for today. You've mastered common prefixes and practiced applying them in sentences. Remember, the more you notice prefixes in words, the easier it is to guess their meanings. Keep practicing and your vocabulary will keep growing. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.